Welcome back to Finance Deconstructed. When I started this channel, my first video asked a massive structural question. Is your 401k safe? Today, we're stepping away from Wall Street and walking straight into your kitchen to deconstruct a financial paradox that defines our modern economy. Right now, there are families of 4 surviving on a strict $100 a month grocery budget. Meanwhile, high-income earners are easily torching $1,500 to $2,000 a month on food delivery and premium groceries, yet they still complain that their fridge is empty. How does this happen? Today, we're leaving no stone unturned. We're going to analyze the exact economic formulas, the lifestyle inflation, and the hidden time taxes that separate the rich from the poor when it comes to the most basic human need, eating. Let's start with the $100 a month budget. If you show this number to a high-income earner, they will tell you it is mathematically impossible. But to a low-income family, it is a forced reality. How do they do it? They master the caloric density to dollar ratio. When you only have $100, you do not buy brands, you buy macronutrients. The golden rule of extreme budget shopping is keeping the core of the cart to under $1.50 per pound. We're talking about dry beans, bulk rice, lentils, cabbage, potatoes, and eggs. Meat becomes a side dish or a flavoring agent, not the main course.
But here is what financial experts know. The poor are not just spending money, they are spending time. Because their capital is strictly limited, they trade their time to preserve it. This requires hyper-planning, where there is zero food waste and every leftover is repurposed. They map out store routes, hitting discount grocers, price-matching flyers, and hunting down loss leaders, items the store sells at a loss just to get you in the door. They spend their weekends batch cooking to prevent midweek burnout. However, there is a brutal reality to this survival mechanism. Studies from global economic institutions show that the poor experience a much higher effective inflation rate. When global food prices spike by 15 to 20%, high-income earners can simply trade down from premium steak to chicken. Low-income earners are already buying the absolute cheapest items on the shelf. They have nowhere left to trade down to, meaning inflation literally takes food off their table. Now, let's look at the other end of the spectrum. The high-income earner making 6 figures who spends thousands on food but feels like they have nothing to eat. This phenomenon is driven by a concept economists call the Time-Cost Constraint. A study by the USDA Economic Research Service found a direct correlation. Higher incomes combined with greater time constraints, usually from demanding jobs, lead directly to the purchase of convenience foods. When your hourly earning rate is high, your brain automatically justifies spending money to buy back your time. But this creates a massive financial leak through 3 specific traps. First is the app markup. It is not just the delivery fee. Apps like Uber Eats or Instacart routinely mark up the actual cost of the items by 15 to 30% before adding service fees, delivery fees, and tips. A $15 meal effectively becomes a $28 expense.
Second is the aspirational grocery run. High-income earners go to premium stores and buy aspirational food, fancy cheeses, exotic fruits, organic kale, because they want to be the person who eats that healthy, curated diet. But because they are exhausted from their high-paying jobs, they end up ordering takeout on a Tuesday, and that $8 box of organic spinach turns to liquid in the crisper drawer. Third is the frictionless spending illusion. When your credit card is linked to an app, you do not feel the psychological pain of handing over physical cash. Spending $40 for a delivered coffee and a pastry feels like monopoly money right up until the credit card statement arrives. Ultimately, high-income earners are trading their capital to buy back their time, but they are doing it with such profound inefficiency that it triggers massive lifestyle inflation. If a financial auditor looked at both of these households, they would applaud the discipline of the low-income shopper while warning about the systemic risks of inflation. For the high-income earner, they would immediately flag the food budget as a massive wealth killer. So, how do we deconstruct this into actionable financial theory for your life?
Whether you make $30,000 or $300,000, the math of wealth building requires you to treat your food budget like a business expense. First, stop aspirational buying. Buy the groceries for the life you actually live, not the one you wish you lived. If you know you are going to be too tired to cook on Thursday, buy a frozen pizza for $6 instead of planning a complex meal that will inevitably result in a $45 delivery order. Second, audit your convenience premium. Calculate exactly how much extra you are paying for delivery apps in a month. Take that number, multiply it by 12, and ask yourself a hard question. Is this convenience worth delaying my retirement or missing out on investments? Finally, deploy strategic bulk. You do not need to survive purely on rice and beans, but adopting the low-income strategy of a tightly managed, non-perishable pantry prevents emergency spending. The reality is, the poor survive out of necessity, mastering the math of calories per dollar. The rich bleed cash because they let convenience mask their financial inefficiency. Which side of the grocery aisle are you on? If this breakdown changed the way you look at your budget, hit the like button right now. It tells the algorithm to push real financial education to more people. And if you want to keep deconstructing the hidden money traps in your daily life, subscribe to Finance Deconstructed and turn on notifications. Leave a comment below with your biggest grocery expense, and I will see you in the next video.